So, there are some really fundamental ideas in Ayurveda which are quite different to what we're used to in Western medicine. For instance, the 5 elements. How would you describe them, or how can we conceptualize them?
Again, a good question. I can put it as a simplest thing, like most of the times, because of the language, Ayurveda is understood to be a difficult science. But I think it's much more easier to understand Ayurveda than any other science. Just to put it in simple, everything which is in nature is within us. So according to Ayurveda, we are a mini cosmos. So you see the sun outside, we have our own digestive fire inside, which gives us energy. If we look water outside, our body is made up of 60% of water inside. So with the fluids and various types. So when we come to the fundamental 5 elements, they are ether, which is also called space, air, fire, water, and earth. So these are the 5 basic elements. All living and non-living things are made out of these 5 fundamental elements. So if you want to put how our body is made up of 5 fundamental elements, we could brief it like, if you consider the ether or space, you need that space for things to travel. So without the space, things cannot fit in there. So different spaces in our body, like the channels of our body, are probably, if the ears are blocked, we won't be able to hear. So we need that space for the proper communication of the things happening. So there are spaces in our body through which things move. Air is the fundamental energy of movement. So without air, things cannot be moved from here to there. So all the electrical impulses and everything which travels in our body, the closing of our eyelids, the opening of our eyelids, moving our hands, everything comes under the control of air principle. Then we move on to the fire. So all the transformational processes which happen in our body could be at the gross level, like our digestive fire, or could be at the cellular level in the form of transformation of things from a gross level to the subtle level and nourishing our own bodies and elements. Now coming to water elements. So as I mentioned before, like blood, lymph, all the body fluids are also made up of water element. And coming to the last part, which is earth element, which has got foundation. So if you look at them, bones, muscles, all the earthy elements in our bodies come under this picture. So if you look at the things, everything which is present outside is present inside, and vice versa. And that's why it's said that we are a mini cosmos. We have the whole cosmos within us, and that's how it is. If you see the fundamentals, all the living and non-living things are all made up of the 5 elements.
Okay, so when we look at the 5 elements, then we've got the 7 tissues and the 3 doshas. So how do we understand, do we need to understand the 7 tissues and how they relate to the 5 elements before we can look at the doshas?
Ideally, if you put it like, in Western medicine, we study physiology, right? So in Ayurveda, we first study dosha, dhatu, and malas, because they are the fundamental things which control all the things in your body.
So dosha, there's no really easy English translation for dosha.
They say they are different kind of energies or different kind of humors, but they are called doshas because they have the capacity to cause an imbalance.